Hey guys, Portia here, and today I wanted to work on a seamless design. So there are various ways to do a seamless design, but today I want to focus on strategically placing the images so that when we do a 360 rotation, we really can't tell where the image starts and where it ends as far as how we sublimate it on. I'm going to go ahead and jump right on into Canva. Alright, let's go ahead and create a design, and I'm going to be using the custom size of 11 by 8.5 inches. And the images that we're going to be using today, I picked them up from Etsy, which are these pretty watercolor butterflies, although this one, for some odd reason, it sticks out like a sore thumb, so I probably won't be using that one. But before I insert our watercolor butterflies, I want to insert a template. So I got this template from Etsy as well, and through trial and error I discovered that as long as I make this template 9.8 by 8.4, it is going to wrap around my tumbler perfectly. And let's get that done. Bam. You can use your inkjet printer if you have one, print out in black and white to do your test printing. So what's going to happen is we're going to leave this template here, but we are going to insert all our images on the inside, and when it prints out, we're going to cut all along the red part. So we're just going to pretty much cut that all out. But at the end of the day, it's going to wrap around the tapered tumbler perfectly. You really don't have to worry about this when you have a straight tumbler. So now what I want to do is go back and get our watercolor butterflies, and I'm going to go ahead and insert them. So the key to this is working left and right. That's where we're going to begin. We're going to eventually fill the whole space up within the red line with our butterflies, but first I want to make sure that the left and the right sides are communicating pretty well with each other. And we are going to just place the butterflies on the outsides first. So for the right side, I want to push the butterflies in toward, keep them in toward the left side. And for the left side, I want to push the butterflies in to the right. So what happens is, as you go back and forth pushing the butterflies left and right, or whatever image you guys choose to use, you're going to almost create a little bit of a zigzag. And if you do this correctly, what's going to end up happening is it'll really look like the images are close to each other, but they're not touching or overlapping. And that's how we're going to go ahead and create our seamless look. So I'm going to go ahead and get all our butterflies in, and when we come back, we'll move on to the next step. So I have placed all my butterflies where I wanted them. Now let's take a look at the left hand side here. Now you see I have a lot of butterflies here, but there's no images that's touching the red line. So I have plenty of room there. And then if we take a look at the red side, there also are no images touching the red line. So I do probably want to add a couple more little butterflies. So I did use the little butterflies as fillers, because the more of the smaller images you have, it'll make the big image come together a little bit better. Now at the top and bottom, you'll see I did go outside of the line, and I'm okay with that because I want to look like they're flying off. I'm okay with that on the top and bottom, just didn't want to mess with that on the left and the right hand side. So yeah, we're pretty much done. I think this looks pretty well filled. You can always add a couple of more if you want to, like I see this empty space here. But remember, we have the beautiful background in the shimmer, so I don't necessarily want to fill the whole thing up. I do want to leave some space for our shimmer and our lavender to pop through. So the next thing I want to do is add in some text, and it's just my name, real simple. And the font that I want to use is called the Glowing Black Queen. And I thought I recently used that, but guess not. So let's type it in. There we go. And I downloaded this from dafont.com. And I am just going to put my name right in the center. So I turned it a little bit. And let's see. There we go. Line that up. And I'm just going to make it pretty big. Why not? Go for it. Alright, so I just want to center this to make sure it's smack dab in the middle. And that looks good. And I want to go ahead and add an effect in, and I want to do a shadow. And I think I want to change this to some kind of blue. I think that would look pretty based off of what we already have in the image. I don't think I want to go with purple because it might fade into the actual color of our tumbler. And let's see. No, I don't think the pink will work either because it's too close to what we already got going on. Ah, that stands out. Okay, I think that'll work. Okay guys, so this is pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and download this as a PDF to ensure that our size does not move. I'm going to print it out on our sublimation printer, and then when we come back, we will prepare our tumbler for sublimation. All right, guys, check it out. I am so loving this. Can't wait to see the finished look. Now, one thing I do want to tell you, if you do go ahead and wrap after you've printed out and discover, say, some edges are overlapping, you can actually cut away the white so that it fits more like an interlocking thing. You could do that. Just use a little bit of ingenuity to figure it out and get what you need done. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and clean up the tumbler with my alcohol and my lint roller, make sure that there's no debris. I am going to wrap it in my parchment paper and of course the image itself, and then when we come back we'll be ready to put it in the press, which is heating up right now. All right guys, so we are all wrapped up. I got my parchment on here, of course the wrap itself. And what we are going to do is use a heat resistant mat. I picked this up from the Dollar Tree, and it is heat resistant up to 500 degrees. So the reason why we're going to use this is because, of course, the Cricut Mug Press was not created for tumblers. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to use the mat, to compensate for the space because the tumbler is skinny and it's too small for it. So I do 3 30-second overlapping rotations for the top, and then 3 30-second overlapping rotations for the bottom. So what that does is ensure that I cover the entire piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to heating, or rather get to pressing. I don't know. So let's get this in here. All right guys, so this is going to be our first rotation, and I'm gonna go ahead and do all 6 of my rotations, and when we come back we will be ready to take it out of the press. All right guys, just finished my last set of rotations. Get this out of here. We are piping hot. Move this out the way. All right, so what I am going to do is allow this to cool down. Some people just submerge it in cool water, but I prefer to just let it cool down on its own. That process seems to work okay for me. It works well for me. I have no problem with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this cool down, and we'll come back and unwrap together. Let's see what we got. Wow, look at the color saturation, guys. I hope you can see this as well as I can. OMG, it is so bright, so vibrant. Now I do have a little bit of white residue. Can you guys see that right there? But no problem, I'll just wet a towel, cloth, whatever, and wipe it off. But Oh my goodness, this okay, so I thought my Tiana tumbler was my favorite one, but I think I might have to change my mind. So this is actually our seam, which is the point of today's video. But can you guys tell that it's a seam? Like when you just look at it, this does not look like we have a seam. And of course it was about our strategic placement, as well as, should I say, jagging our edges, you know. So that zigzag effect that we created left and right side really does work. So yeah, let's do a 360 view on this. Oh god, so I'm gonna clean it up and we come back and we'll do our 360 view. Seam where? I have no idea. Did you see a seam? I don't see a seam. I am so happy, so proud about this one, guys. Do you guys have any tips or tricks that you want to share for creating seamless 360 wraps? Let me know. But yeah, as always, if you got any questions, concerns, emotional outbursts, let me know. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to Color Me Portia. But until next time, peace.